A graphics card, also known as a video card or GPU, is a component in a computer that is responsible for rendering images, videos, and animations. It functions as an interface between the computer's CPU and display and helps to generate images and perform graphical tasks at high speed. Graphics cards come in various forms including integrated GPU, on-board, and discrete GPU, separate card. They can greatly improve the visual quality and performance of a computer, especially when running demanding applications such as video games and video editing software. The graphics card has its own processor, called the GPU, graphics processing unit, and its own memory, called VRAM, video random access memory, which are optimized for graphical tasks. The GPU is capable of performing many calculations in parallel, making it more efficient at processing graphics-related data than a traditional CPU. The VRAM, on the other hand, provides a fast and dedicated memory space to store and retrieve the graphical data. A graphics card also often has additional features, such as support for multiple displays, 3D rendering capabilities, and hardware acceleration for video decoding. It connects to the motherboard of a computer through either an AGP or PCI Express slot. The type and amount of VRAM, as well as the performance and features of the GPU, vary between different models and manufacturers, and determine the overall performance of the graphics card. In conclusion, a graphics card plays a crucial role in the visual experience of a computer and is a key component for anyone who wants to use their computer for gaming, graphic design, video editing, or any other graphical intensive tasks. The graphics card also plays an important role in the overall power consumption and heat generation of a computer. High-end graphics cards can consume a lot of power and generate significant heat, requiring a power supply with sufficient wattage and a cooling system, such as a fan or a liquid cooling system, to keep the card operating within safe temperature limits. In recent years, graphics cards have become increasingly popular among cryptocurrency miners, who use them to perform complex mathematical calculations in order to mine cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin. The increased demand for GPUs by miners has caused prices to rise and availability to become limited, especially for high-end graphics cards. It's also worth noting that not all computers require a dedicated graphics card. For most everyday tasks, such as web browsing, office work, and casual gaming, an integrated GPU is sufficient. However, for demanding tasks that require a lot of graphical processing power, a dedicated graphics card is recommended. In summary, the graphics card is a complex and essential component in a computer that greatly affects the overall performance and experience of a computer. It's important to choose a graphics card that is appropriate for the intended use and to ensure that the rest of the system can support its performance and power requirements. Another important aspect to consider when choosing a graphics card is compatibility with the operating system and other software. Some high-end graphics cards may require a 64-bit operating system and updated drivers to function properly, and may not be compatible with older or less powerful systems. Additionally, some software, such as video games and professional 3D modeling applications, may have specific requirements for graphics card performance and features. In recent years, graphics card manufacturers have been releasing cutting-edge models that support advanced technologies such as ray tracing and artificial intelligence, which enhance the realism and performance of graphics in real-time applications. These advanced graphics cards can be very expensive and may not be necessary for everyone, but they offer a significant improvement in visual quality and performance for those who need it. It's also worth mentioning that the market for graphics cards is constantly evolving, with new models being released and older models becoming obsolete. Staying up to date with the latest advancements in graphics card technology can be a challenge, but it's important for anyone who wants to get the most out of their computer for graphical tasks. In conclusion, the graphics card is a critical component in a computer that has a major impact on the visual experience, performance, and power consumption of the system. It's important to carefully consider the intended use, compatibility, and budget when choosing a graphics card to ensure that the computer can meet the user's needs and expectations. Another important consideration when choosing a graphics card is the type of connector it uses to connect to a monitor. Common connector types include HDMI, DisplayPort, DVI, and VGA. Different graphics cards may have different types of connectors, and the type of connector a graphics card supports will determine the type of monitor it can be used with. It's important to make sure that the graphics card and monitor are compatible, as some monitors may only support certain types of connectors. It's also important to consider the maximum resolution and refresh rate that a graphics card and monitor combination can support. Higher resolutions and refresh rates can provide a smoother and more immersive visual experience, but they also require more graphical processing power. It's important to ensure that the graphics card and monitor can support the desired resolution and refresh rate before purchasing them. In recent years, graphics cards have become more energy efficient, allowing for quieter and cooler operation. This has made them more suitable for use in small form factor and compact systems, such as laptops and mini PCs. However, it's still important to carefully consider the power requirements of a graphics card, as some high-end models may require additional power from the system's power supply. Finally, it's worth mentioning that the graphics card market is highly competitive, with numerous manufacturers offering products at different price points and with different performance and features. Researching and comparing different graphics card models and reading reviews from trusted sources can help to find the right card for a specific budget and performance requirement. In conclusion, the graphics card is a complex component that requires careful consideration and research before purchasing. Factors such as compatibility, performance, connector type, resolution, refresh rate, energy efficiency, and budget all play a role in choosing the right graphics card for a specific computer and intended use. Another aspect to consider when choosing a graphics card is the size and form factor of the card. Graphics cards can come in different sizes, from low-profile cards that are suitable for compact systems to large, high-end cards that take up multiple expansion slots. It's important to make sure that the graphics card will fit in the system and that there is sufficient clearance for the cooling solution, if necessary. Another important consideration is the number of fans and their placement on the graphics card. Graphics cards with multiple fans or larger fans can provide better cooling performance and be more silent, but they also take up more space and may not fit in smaller systems. Graphics cards with a single fan or blower-style cooling solution are more compact, but may generate more noise and run hotter under heavy loads. It's also important to consider the design and aesthetics of the graphics card, as some high-end models come with RGB lighting and customizable LED effects. While these features do not affect the performance of the card, they can add to the overall look and feel of the system. Finally, it's worth mentioning that the graphics card market is highly competitive, and prices can fluctuate frequently based on supply and demand. While it may be tempting to purchase the latest and greatest graphics card, it's important to consider the budget and the intended use of the computer. Some high-end models may not offer a significant performance improvement for the intended use, and a lower-end model may provide sufficient performance while being more budget-friendly. In conclusion, choosing a graphics card requires careful consideration of several factors, including compatibility, performance, connector type, resolution, refresh rate, energy efficiency, budget, form factor, cooling solution, design, and aesthetics. Researching and comparing different models, reading reviews, and considering the intended use of the computer can help to find the right graphics card for a specific system and budget. It's also important to consider the type of memory used by the graphics card, as this can have an impact on performance and stability. The most common types of memory used in graphics cards are GDDR5 and GDDR6, with the newer GDDR6 offering improved performance and power efficiency. However, some high-end models may use even faster memory types, such as HBM or HBM2, which can provide significant performance improvements. Another factor to consider is the amount of memory or VRAM that the graphics card has. More memory can allow for higher resolution and more complex graphics, but it also increases the cost of the card. It's important to choose a graphics card with enough memory to meet the needs of the intended use, without paying for more memory than is necessary. It's also important to consider the compatibility of the graphics card with other components in the system, such as the power supply and motherboard. Some high-end graphics cards may require additional power connectors or may not be compatible with certain motherboards. It's important to check the specifications of the graphics card and the system components to ensure that they are compatible before making a purchase. Finally, it's worth mentioning that the graphics card market is highly competitive, and new models are being released frequently. Keeping up to date with the latest advancements in graphics card technology can be a challenge, but it's important for anyone who wants to get the most out of their computer for graphical tasks. In conclusion, choosing a graphics card requires careful consideration of several factors, including compatibility, performance, connector type, resolution, refresh rate, energy efficiency, budget, form factor, cooling solution, design, aesthetics, memory type, amount of memory, and compatibility with other components. Researching and comparing different models, reading reviews, and considering the intended use of the computer can help to find the right graphics card for a specific system and budget. Another important factor to consider is the support for API, application programming interface, and technology such as DirectX and OpenGL. DirectX is a set of APIs developed by Microsoft for Windows-based systems, and it is used for creating interactive multimedia and gaming applications. OpenGL is an API that is used for cross-platform graphics programming, and it is widely used for creating applications in fields such as engineering, scientific visualization, and video games. Some graphics cards may have better support for certain APIs, and it's important to choose a graphics card that is compatible with the intended use. Another factor to consider is the support for multiple displays and multi-monitor setups. Some graphics cards may have multiple DisplayPort and HDMI outputs, allowing for multiple monitors to be connected and used at the same time. It's important to choose a graphics card that has enough outputs to support the desired number of displays. The performance of a graphics card can also be affected by its drivers, which are the software that allows the operating system to communicate with the hardware. It's important to choose a graphics card from a manufacturer that provides regular driver updates to fix bugs, improve performance, and add new features. Some manufacturers may also offer software tools to control the performance, overclocking, and monitoring of the graphics card. In conclusion, choosing a graphics card requires careful consideration of several factors, including compatibility, performance, connector type, resolution, refresh rate, energy efficiency, budget, form factor, cooling solution, design, aesthetics, memory type, amount of memory, compatibility with other components, support for API and technology, support for multiple displays, driver support, and software tools. Researching and comparing different models, reading reviews, and considering the intended use of the computer can help to find the right graphics card for a specific system and budget.